The widow of police officer Keith Palmer, who was killed during the Westminster terror attack, has told the inquest into his death that he was left in a vulnerable location with no protection to die. It's just horrible, isn't it? The whole situation is horrible. Basically, Keith Palmer's wife, Michelle, has criticised the Met Police. Basically, the coroner who has looked into his death has found that there were shortcomings in the security systems at Westminster. And this is the awful bit for anyone to hear. Those shortcomings meant that it was possible he could be alive today if
he was armed.
And if different procedures were in place. What she says is, how could Keith have been left alone, unarmed, guarding an open gate at one of the most iconic buildings in the world and one of the country's top terror targets? Now, obviously, there's a lot of speculation in the papers today about whether officers should be armed, whether just officers guarding areas like this should be armed. What are your thoughts on this?
I know that when I'm travelling, when I get to the airport, I always feel safer when I see armed police because of the current climate and terrorism and everything.
Yeah.
I know we shouldn't have to have it, but it does make you feel safer. Train stations and whatever. And obviously, iconic buildings like that, which would be a prime target for terrorists, I think that they should have armed police there. I'm not talking about bobbies on the street or whatever. I don't think they should be armed or anything. But obviously, like with the terrorism that's going on in this country, it is a really scary time.
Yeah.
And when it's heightened, I think they should definitely have armed police at all of the major sort of iconic buildings in this country.
I mean, nobody likes looking at guns, do they? I mean, when you see a big Sten gun at the airport or something, it is a bit off-putting. However, having lived in Northern Ireland, I mean, I got so used. We had decades of guns everywhere, really, armed policemen, armed the army themselves. And I personally, like you, I feel better. Maybe it's just because I was conditioned to living there and life seemed so fragile and the deaths were just horrible, the injuries are horrible. I just feel better when that security is around.
Safer, don't you?
I do feel safer. And I think it was terribly sad, though, in this case, because in the end, it was a policeman who was further away that actually shot the terrorist. And as an added thing, I personally, I mean, you and I were in Nice at the time with that horror when the lorry went straight in. For the life of me, I don't know why Westminster wasn't all sealed off, blocked off, just around the building itself anyway. Why there was only one policeman. I don't get that, really, because it's such an important building.
Well, that is insane, having one policeman guard with no armour or anything that is completely insane. But at the same time, I can't see how, like, paramilitary-style policemen walking around airports and train stations with machine guns. I don't see how that works. I don't see how that makes you feel safer, because it doesn't make me feel safe at all. I actually look at them and think, oh, my God, what if they thought they saw something, opened fire? Just imagine the carnage with a machine gun. Someone's going to get caught in the crossfire, and it doesn't make me feel safe at all. I hate seeing it, and I think most people don't want to see it, and we don't want to get used to it. But at the same time, I just don't see how it's going to put anybody off. If you're a terrorist, you don't care anyway. Other people are the people who are going to get hurt.
Protecting the people around.
But is it? How is it? How is it?
It is. I mean, supposing, for argument's sake, like us in Northern Ireland, supposing somebody came up with the hood over on a scooter, on a bicycle, motorbike, got off with a bomb in their hands, whatever. You wouldn't want a policeman at the airport to actually get rid of that person?
Well, you know that, but you would know that, though, wouldn't you?
No,
because,
you wouldn't.
Well, no, because there's moped riders going around London all the time now with hoods on their head. But what are you going to do? Shoot them all? You can't shoot them all.
No, but as you...
Most of them haven't done
one with
anything
a
yet.
bomb. I'm not talking about one who just happens to be
But you don't know if he's got a bomb.
Well, you do. You do.
Well, you
But
do.
if he has,
You do
then
pretty
you're
soon.
armed and ready for them.
Well, if he's got a bomb and it's going to go off, he's going to be dead before you shoot him.
But
also might be safe.
But he can stop anyone else being injured.
Hanging around. How does it make you safer? I don't think it does. I don't know what the answer is, and I don't think... I think it's kind of putting a sticking plaster over.
Well, obviously, you feel really strongly that you don't feel safer. We asked you at home, should all our police be armed? And 75% said yes.
That's all police.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't believe all police.
people
No, I
at
don't
home
agree
think
with
that they should be armed. Obviously, as well, we need to give the police's response to obviously the death of Keith Palmer. the Neil Basu, the head of counter-terror policing at Scotland Yard, said the Met accepted the coroner's conclusions unreservedly and said security arrangements have been substantially changed since that day, which has to be a good thing.